You're lying. Lady Claudette saw you in Nîmes. Uh-oh. 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 Tears and snot ran down her face. She was holding a vintage 1610 bottle of wine. She gripped the neck of the bottle and flung it at the wall where Guilleme was standing. He ducked just in time to avoid the glass. Chérie! Don't you chérie me, you bastard! Can we not talk it out on my wine collection again? Can we not take it out on my wine collection again? Catherine threw another bottle in response. Stop, Catherine! You're going to hurt yourself. Hurt myself? Like you care! You tell me you were off to Avignon last weekend, but you're actually in Nîmes? Why are you making this into a huge deal? So I had to stop over a neighboring town. It was no... It's a lie. You omit things. It's a lie if you omit things. I told you at the very start of this relationship, Guilleme. I want 100% honesty with you. And I've told you as well. I have a reputation. Rumors follow me. Idle mouths can't help but chatter. Did you know that Lady Claudette once indecently proposed to me? And right in her husband's birthday gathering as well. So what? That is all beside the point. You know what they say? That where there is smoke, there's fire. How about a name to further torch the bush? Lalaine de Monteclair? Lalaine is the shop girl from the town. A nice girl. Or at least a thermos from all those 3 times I made the mistake to enter her shop, it looks like. Is there anything else you would like to insinuate? Oh, nothing at all, sir. Why? Is there anything I should know? Guilleme sighed and tried to speak calmly. Chérie, I promised you when we got engaged, didn't I? I will be faithful to only you. There is no one else, but Catherine gritted her teeth. Again with this. You are more vague than a monkey's spit. Answer me straight now. Answer me straight right now. Yes or no? Are you having an affair? Guilleme threw his hands up in annoyance. Merde, Catherine, I am not. I have already answered you this. Why does it seem like you only hear what you want to hear? I just want to understand everything and make it crystal clear. Is it so bad? Now explain to me what Lady Claudette, are you taking that bitter, conniving woman's words over mine? Well, I tried to get information from the source, but the source isn't very reliable. Guilleme's shoulders slumped in an irritated surrender. She heard him curse under his breath. Oh, I'm tired of this Cath. This is a waste of time. What is the point of this if we keep going around in circles? Catherine snuffled, wiping her nose savagely with her hand. You always do this. You go off on a tangent and pick things apart. You don't even listen to my side at all. Could you stop acting like a child for 1 minute? Maybe then we can have a real conversation. A conversation with a liar is always one-sided. Catherine grabbed 2 bottles this time. Uh-oh. What would happen if she brought the 2 bottles crashing in front of her? Would the pieces of glass stab her face, her eyes maybe? What a random thought. The morbid picture gave her an out-of-body experience. It was a nasty fight, depressingly familiar. But they were dancing to the same tune once again. Here be the lovers. Enter left, the hothead. Watching her dance with anger blazing, tears are sparkling, bitter rage. The fight goes on until she's spent, the reasons hazy in her head. Pen right, the rake. Both the victim and accused, words are poison or an unlit fuse. Migraines taught his pride and temper, he grudgingly takes on logic's mantle. The words they throw reach fever pit. The dance will crest, he'll choose to leave. Enough of this, he says in rage, temper rising, He exits frame. Her unspent fervor burning hot. She cries it off. What cowardly sod! What did you expect? She asks herself. He'll take abuse with bowed head. The least he could do, her anger shouts. A hint of guilt, a hint of doubt. The migrant throbs as he is pacing, annoyed and angered, his face aflush. Capricious woman, irrational. He shakes his head with a tight breath. Yet he basks in torture and savors the taste. This is love, he nods. This is love, he says. Love and pain go hand in hand. It is painful, yes, but never bland. He nips a morsel and takes a bite. Exquisite, he trembles. A rush, a charge. He feels his heart is struck by love. Decides that it is worth the gripe. A dainty flower he must protect, to watch it bloom until it's ripe. But not right now, he says, still sore. His pride's too hard to swallow whole. Hours pass. He wouldn't call. She forms the words she knows will hurt. She plans to cut and make him bleed. Yet, when he arrives, she all but weeps. Why did you leave? You shouldn't have. Are you angry still? I'm here now, love. Her arms are snug upon his neck. He'll promise to change, to do what's best. For both their sakes, he admits he's wrong. A little lie to complete the song. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you love. Whoops. Just tell me when you're tired of me, or when you find some other pretty thing, you bastard. Catherine slipped back into her brain just as the last sentence left her lips. If you're going to leave me, then just leave. Stop playing me for a fool. This was a new tempo. She dropped the bottles to her side, but did not let go. He noticed the change of song and timed his step accordingly. I never once thought or treated you like a fool. I love you. I'm never going to leave you. New tears churn and bubble from her eyes. Liar. It was her turn to leave this time, and she did. He was left to perform a solo. Contemplation, regret, penance. A vow of new beginnings forming in his head. Kath? Rosie Wosie. Catherine stumbled into Rosa's room that evening, drunk to high heaven. Her half-lidded eyes surveyed Rosa's meager space. She let herself fall on the bed, regretting it instantly. The ceiling spun in a waltz of throbbing headaches and acid-laced throats. Bad idea. Catherine stood up and her wobbly legs tripped her. Rosa caught her and sat Kath on her small bed. My goodness, you stink of alcohol. She propped some pillows behind her back and fixed the stray hairs that had littered her face. Thanks, hon. You're a dear. How much have you had, Kath? Catherine counted on her fingers. Never mind. Would you like some water? Nope. Interesting. Huh? I can almost hear liquid slushing around in my brain when I shake my head. Rosa pursed her lips. Catherine was in no shape to make decisions right now. She stood up to get her something to sober up. But Catherine grabbed Rosa's hand and tugged at it gently. No, you sit. Please. Rosa compiled. Catherine revealed a bottle about 3/4 full. Snuck another one from the Dilly Monster's closet. Serves him right for calling me a child. Rosa began to protest. Catherine paid her no mind. Come on, Rosa. When have we ever drunk ourselves to the point of insanity? and I call you my best friend. Catherine took a huge swig of the bittersweet liquid and offered it to Rosa. Rosa examined it carefully and took a mouthful. She gargled it in her mouth, admiring the sweet and sour flavor of the wine. I've never had anything this rich before. Good, right? It had to be. It's the last bottle. So, I had another fight with Shush. Bad wind follows that name. I'm not talking about that egocentric pompadour tonight. We are going to drink. We are going to reminisce. And tomorrow we'll have ourselves together. Agreed? Rosa giggled. If you say so. All right. Last one. Rosa puffed her cheeks in mock disgust. Fine. How you make holy water? How? Boil the hell out of it. Rosa and Catherine were assaulted by fits of hysteric laughter. Catherine felt the muscles of her cheeks ache. This is so bad. I don't even have the words. Catherine wiped her tears of laughter from her eyes. I heard that one from your suitors, Sir Adrian. Rosa rolled her eyes. How come I always end up talking to your suitors more than you? I must start charging you a fee. I'll pay it with my gratitude. What is wrong with Sir Adrian? Anyway, he seemed like a nice man. Nice hair, nice teeth, nicely groomed mutton chops. The two women laughed. How about Sir Fervent? He sent you that lovely bouquet of flowers. I'm not interested in a relationship at the moment. At the moment, you don't seem interested ever. I am. Sometimes. It's just hard to connect to people for me, beyond physical. Relationships seem out of the question. You don't have any difficulty with me or that idiot in the upper room. It means you are not incapable. That is only because you're my closest friends. Well, there must be someone. Oh, you're so picky. If you go on like that, you might end up an old maid, you know. So be it. I'd rather take care of your children anyway. I shall be the amazing godmother. Catherine smiled wistfully. I'm not sure I want any. What? It's children. I love children, but it's a little scary. Catherine bit her lip. What if she becomes her own mother? It was such a terrifying possibility, wasn't it? She barely remembered her mother. Her malady had struck as soon as Catherine was born. She had never called Catherine by her name, not even on the day she had died. All she knew was that their family struggled with that crisis. Her father, exhausted and depressed, and her sister forced to grow up too fast. To be a blight to the people you love, how horrible would it be? Catherine. Rosa smiled at her, interrupting her thoughts. You will be a good mother. Your past doesn't matter. Catherine stared at Rosa, almost enchanted at her ability to know what she was thinking. She really was her best friend, wasn't she? The thought warmed her heart. You really think so? Yes. The fact that you are so concerned about them before they even are born speaks much of your kindness. Whatever happens, those children will grow up loved. Catherine blushed and changed the subject. Oh, we're out of booze. We finished it. I'm quite buzzed. Hey, remember the first time we drank? You mean the party of the potato or the potato incident? Of course I mean the potato incident. Oh, how can I forget? Rosa burst out laughing. That was hilarious. Wench, stop laughing! I almost went to jail! Goodness, I was so stupid. Rosa laughed again. Amen. Hey, you're supposed to say, no, Catherine. We do dumb things when we were young. Catherine, we do dumb things when we were young. It's about time you learn your lesson. I can't wait to tell your children endless tales of your shenanigans. Ah, wench! Tut-tut. Catherine grabbed Rosa's waist and attempted to tickle her, but Rosa slipped away laughing. Catherine's stomach lurked and she stooped, her hands still hugging Rosa's waist. The room spun, but it wasn't unpleasant. She felt like being gently rocked in a cradle. She closed her eyes and smiled. She took in Rosa's scent, always smelling slightly like apples. Rosa scratched her head and smoothed her hair. Ah, this is nice. Yes. Rosa. Thank you for being with me. Of course. No, I mean... She sat up on the bed. You've been with me all my life. You are my oldest friend. When we first met, I didn't have many friends. I just studied my piano lessons night and day, because that's all I ever knew to do. It was all I had. Maybe that was why I begged Papa to let you stay with us. I was so happy. Rosa smiled fondly at the memory. You were there for me, always. That sounds disgustingly melodramatic. You're drunk, I understand. They laughed again. Would you like to hear something worse? What? You changed my life. That is worse. Rosa smiled fondly as she played with Catherine's hair. I'm the lucky one, Catherine. You took me home and treated me like I was family. You wouldn't have known that... I wouldn't have known what a real family was like without you, Papa Francois and Emily. Even if Papa Francois always did avoid me, I knew he cared for me like his own. Yes? Why is that? That was why I liked him. He was a good man. And you know, Guilleme was almost family too. Catherine made a face at the mention of the man, but her eyes softened. There was a pause. Catherine shifted awkwardly in her skin. Can I tell you a secret? Of course. Guilleme and I, we haven't had intercourse. Recently? No, I mean, at all. Oh. Rosa cleared her throat. I see. After all these years? Well, after the first time, never again. Rosa blushed. Her head knitted together images of the two people she considered her friends. Rosa tried to push them away, but all she was able to do was paint the warped fantasies in gossamer and fuzz. She cleared her throat. Is that why you have separate rooms, even when he moved here for the chateau? No, that was his idea. He's very peculiar with his sleep. I imagine he'll be keeping the separate bedrooms even when you get married. I don't really mind. Well, your wedding is soon, isn't it? Perhaps you are just nervous. No, I don't think it's like that. Recently, we'd get intimate, but always stopped when things got too sultry. Oh. He gets upset sometimes, but he says it's all right. Catherine looked down ruefully on her toes. He doesn't push me into it. I should be glad. But don't you think it's strange? What if I stay like this even after we get married? I don't understand why. Sometimes I get these doubts and I wonder why they are there. Isn't that unfair of him? It just feels like there is something wrong with me, you know? There's nothing wrong with you. But it makes me really insecure. This lack of, you know. What if he's getting it somewhere else? It drives me crazy. Believe me, I want to. I just can't for some reason. I get this horrible feeling I can't explain. Rosa examined Catherine's face and came to a conclusion. It took me a while to understand sex. Sudden no-nonsense comment surprised Catherine. Rosa went on. I was the same as you. I had always had an adverse feeling for it. Like it's dirty and that I should be ashamed for enjoying it. I had always thought love would make sex clean, you know? But that's not how it works. They are two separate things. So just because you don't like sex, it doesn't mean you don't love him, Kath. Catherine looked up at her. Why do you even care so much to hurt him? What do you think love is? The warm feeling returned to Catherine's heart. How do you do that? Huh? You always know the right thing to say. Always! Rosa blushed at this, suddenly aware that they were still in loose tangle of an embrace. I've read a lot of smart books lately. She tried to defuse the situation with a laugh, but Catherine didn't drop her look. Candlelight played pretty shadows on her skin. It illuminated the glint in her eyes, the moist on her lips. Rosa felt the warmth of the alcohol rise up to her face. Her heartbeat increased steadily. Anyway, maybe you will feel better about it when you are married. You are probably just nervous about the whole thing. She made attempts to curl away from Catherine's arms. Slowly, subtly run away. Disperse the proximity, but she couldn't run away from her stare. Catherine's hand caressed Rosa's face. What's going on in here? She touched her scars daintily, tracing them with her fingers. You're really pretty, Rosa. Especially when you smile. Thank you, I think. You don't believe me. I don't think I am. I look in the mirror and I see a freak. Rosa, that's not true. That's fine. I liked being a freak. I wanted to be ugly. I used to bind my breasts and hide in the shabbiest clothes I could find. Rosa touched her eye. This was penance, she remembered herself saying, for being a sinner and a freak, for attracting attention and spite, for dressing nicely, for letting her hair grow long. But really, I did this to myself to hide. To hide? Rosa's mouth quivered. I thought people don't touch ugly things. But the truth is, they do. So what I'd rather be is invisible. Catherine wrapped her arms around Rosa's neck. She heard Catherine sniff and wipe tears behind her embrace. She pushed Rosa's hair away and kissed her defective eye. You're not a freak, and you're not ugly. I love every part of you. They are all beautiful. Rosa forgot how close they were now, forgot Catherine's hands on her own. Here was somebody who accepted her, with all her faults and ugliness. You always made me feel I am worth something. Because you are! You're beautiful, Rosa, inside and out. Rosa saw her face reflected in Catherine's eyes. In them, she did indeed look beautiful. A lump formed in Rosa's throat. Catherine's face hovered above her cheek. She planted a little seed of a kiss on it, just barely away from her lips. Rosa kissed her nose in return. It made Catherine giggle. At first, the kisses were sweet, innocent. The kind of punch-drunk kisses that sent them both into bouts of giggling. But Catherine's hand caressed her neck. The kisses lingered. Lips melted. Hands explored. And Rosa sucked on Catherine's tongue inside her mouth. Wine. Candle wax. Spit. That was what it tasted like. Rosa's head began to swoon. Catherine's hand squeezed her right breast. Tripe. Grapes. Plush. Rosa began to taste more of her. Longing. Regrets. Tears. A sensational flavor she had never tasted before hovered at the edge of her tongue. Suddenly she was hungry for it. Take it all. Do I have to click this? No. Is it Mother? Who speaks? Rosa savored the taste. She breathed deeply. All mine. Child! I want it. Oh no, that's me. Her heart. I want her heart. Her love is sweet. Listen to my voice. Mother? But I'm so hungry. So hungry. Stop! Rosa flung her eyes open. A sinking feeling of menace overcame her. No! Rosa pulled away. She pushed Catherine away from her face. Catherine's eyes snapped open, startled by Rosa's outburst. Why did you stop? Greedy, selfish bitch! She blinked for a few seconds. A look of horror crept on her face. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. No, Kath. Rosa couldn't stand the hurt in her eyes. She was probably blaming herself. Rosa wanted to shout how wrong she was, but the lump in her throat became a rapacious mouth. A tumor had grown inside her, a parasite. She could feel it pulse and slither inside her neck. She couldn't speak at all. Catherine wobbled off the bed. She wiped her mouth and cheeks, which were covered with a thin layer of drool. I'm so sorry, Rosa. I'm going to leave now. Kath. Good night. Rosa shouldn't have followed her. But when she tried to stand, the floor twirled. She choked at the flavor left in her throat. Stick and cloying, sticky, sweet like honey. The taste both repulsed and enticed her. Thick spit leaked out of her mouth. She felt the urge to vomit. This is nothing, Mother. Just a bad after effect of alcohol. No, please don't call me for that. It was an accident. Everything is fine. She would talk to Catherine tomorrow. Assure her that this was not her fault. Everything was fine.